Oh, Courtney, feeling a little lonesome out there on a limb all by yourself since your family won't co-sign your shenanigans? And Mecca, what you doing between them sheets?
Like it's delirium, like it's delirium, I got delirium, like it's delirium, yeah, like it's delirium. She just wanna bounce to it, baby, get your giddy on. Walk up to the stage with a drink like I'm Giveon, but I never came here to sing what I'm really on.
What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Tayi to be here, and welcome to my chat party. If you're here to join me for a little bit, for a lot of bit, fashionably early, fashionably late, they're my little thoughts, my little views, my little opinions on Married at First Sight season 20, episode number 8, romantic sparks and question marks. Then I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you taking the time just to hear what little old me has to say. For those of you who are joining the VIP party guest list, because I see you. Yes, sir. Let's go. I appreciate y'all. I hope that you will enjoy it here. For those of you who will continue to roll in, what's up? How you doing? What's going on? Welcome in. Come on. The party's free. Okay. It is a good party. For those of you who hit the like button, thank you so much for your super kind compliments on the dance floor. Mwah, thank you so much as well. Just even if you slide by with your viewership, like, let me see what you're doing up in here. All right, that's cool. Maybe I'll be back. Maybe I won't. Hoping that you come back. All right, y'all. So I definitely want to go ahead and get into it because I got enough to say, but I don't think it'll be as long as my last video. So let's go ahead and do it. It's 5 weeks now until decision day, so the couples still have, a little ways to go. Devin and Caitlin are out enjoying a water activity and eventually have a little picnic to eat. They're pretty much expressing just how happy they both are. And I'm like, okay, this is good. Good spots and rays of sunshine and dark moments is always a good thing, but it's the permanency of it all, which is what we need. Like, is this going to really build us up the stepping stairs to where we need to be, or is this going to take us down in the basement? The real question, but only time will tell. Felipe's parents are visiting with him and Tori at their place, enjoying a spread of food. They're all doting on each other like they like to do. Again, I'm not mad at that at all either. Mom is sharing with Tori because they kind of do their little thing on the side on the balcony, just how close knit of a family they are. And I think she understands it at this point, and that she's here for Tori whenever Tori needs her. She was just sharing a story of how I think Felipe knows he can call her at any time of the night, and Tori can do the same. So I thought that was really sweet. I'm a little worried though, I will say, about Felipe, because it's like he's talking that talk again about losing the passion. And it's too soon, I feel like, for that. He's coaching himself that he needs to be monogamous. And I'm like, sir, sometimes you have to enjoy the present and not worry about what tomorrow may bring. You can end up putting a strain on the present, worrying about the future. Like, you're thinking too far ahead. Yes, that could be a thing. Yes, this, that, the third, and beyond. But why are we worrying about that right now? Right now is feeling good, right? Right now, the passion is there. Right now, you're feeling all the feels. Let's take that and move along with that. Like, life is going to be a real thing, but you don't even know how bad it's going to be. If it's even going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. Challenging, yes, but challenging does not always mean bad. And as a matter of fact, again, challenging could be building muscle to strengthen your relationship in the long run. To say, yo, I really mess with you heavy after going through what we went through because we did that. So it's going to be much more to it, Felipe, but just try to, take a little breather in the moment and just enjoy the sweetness that you guys are sharing right now. Obviously, there's definitely things that you do want to continue to put the work in to pay attention to. Like, I'm not saying brush things off, but I just don't feel like that should be a major concern right now. But that's just me. Y'all hop on the dance floor, let me know if I'm wrong. And his dad assures him also of some things and reminds him of what companionship should look like. He also, Felipe is saying in his side confessional, that he has to be super cognizant of the fact that he needs to be monogamous, that word again, and a super good husband every day or he'll F up. And I'm like, what? This dude is really nervous about that. I mean, is there more you need to tell us, Felipe? I mean, we already know about the cheatation from before and how you forgot that you cheated. Is there more to that? or with other situations because you were on this heavy. Courtney and Nick, and I want to tell y'all why was my first question when I first saw their name appear on the screen. All you see is a little bowl of whatever being mixed. What was it? Avocados, tomatoes, all this, and I'm just like, why? Why? Like, why? Why? I'm just not in the mood for Courtney and her antics, but we got to do what we need to do. In his confessional, Nick says he doesn't know where they stand. Not quite sure why, but some days he says Courtney is warm. Some days she's not. He's confused. And here's the thing. So I can understand you being confused if you feel like some days she's warm. But for the moments that she's not, like we know how there's a saying that you got to weigh the pros and the cons. And if the bad outweighs the good, then it's pretty much a no go. And if the good outweighs the bad, then you in there like swimwear. Well, sir, to me, it appears the bad is outweighing the good. So where is the confusion at? I ask you. And she ends up sharing that, I should say, sharing again, because we've heard this before in the honeymoon, that she doesn't like to say how she feels because there's a fear of ruffling feathers or that someone is going to leave. And I said, but you definitely not having a problem expressing how you truly feel about Nick, and you have a fear of ruffling feathers. But what about the fear of offending people? Also, if you acted with people the way you've been acting with Nick, it's still hard for you to really figure out why they're leaving then? Like, make that make sense. And honestly, she had already, I guess, answered my question when she told Nick she didn't want to hurt his feelings, but usually tends to block things out like it's not a big deal. And I'm like, see, that's exactly the problem because you're so accustomed to moving the way that you're moving without real self awareness, maybe until now, I guess. I don't know. But girl, you better learn to make it a big deal because you're making big splashes with what you do and what you say. They're not minor things, you know? And none of her relationships, she says, were real or super loving. That can also explain some of her behavior. She shuts her feelings or shuts her own feelings down so that the other person can stay around. And again, I need to know, how are we seeing that come into play in terms of you shutting down your feelings with Nick, at least? Since here he's the one we get to witness. Because based on your feelings in the last episode, you let us and him know that you thought Adam was one of the hottest guys in the group, that you wanted him to get the up off you before your alarm went off when y'all were cuddled up, and that he lacks confidence. I mean, Nick hasn't left you yet, sure, but there's something to be said about why he's allowing any of your behaviors to be a thing in his world. Shout out to all y'all who probably believe it's the TV life of it all. But I still think that would even be crazy if he's hanging in there for that reason. Because again, when you cross over that line, like, when does enough become enough? When, how much more, how much longer am I going to allow you to sit and disrespect me? And not only are you disrespecting me, which is a problem within itself, even if it's just the two of us, you're disrespecting me for the whole world to see, for others to see. And you really find no big deal with it. Like, that's the main issue. And even in this conversation that they're having, when she's kind of talking and trying to act like she recognizes what she's doing, yes, she might recognize it, but I didn't even believe her in that moment. I'm like, you're just saying it in my opinion. You're one of those people because it sounds good, not because you truly mean what you're saying. And I feel like we see that even at the end of the episode, but we'll get there. So, nevertheless, she says she's grateful he hasn't left. I'm sure you have, or sure you are. He says he wants somebody to ruffle his feathers and give him a challenge. I said, Nick, okay, see, now I can't, you're not helping me to help you with this. Okay. I'm over here fighting harder for you than you are fighting for yourself. I'm over here disliking her more than you are even trying to, because it's like, are you all right in there, Nick? Are you all right in there? I just need to know. I need to know. Blink twice if you understand the question that I just asked you. That just came out of my mouth. What do you mean you like your ruffles, your feathers to be okay? I see. I can't even talk straight because that didn't even make no doggone sense. But let me move on. Sean and Nikki meet with Dr. Paul. She says in her confessional she's more than disappointed. She's pissed. She said that Sean is here to win, look good, and charm the room. And she watched all of that play out at the first couple's dinner. And I don't think she could have said it better. I told y'all that in my last video. I felt like he was there playing the victim, like he's going to put on and make her look like she's the one, she's the main problem. And that to me is the overall theme of who and what Sean is presenting himself to be. And she tells Dr. Paul she feels the relationship is bringing out the worst in them. Dr. Paul then asks them to rate their marriage on a scale of 1 to 10. And Nikki says a 2, which I thought was spot on. Sean says a 7.5, and I wonder like from where? Where you get that from? He came in feeling, he said, like no matter who he got matched with, he was going to try to put the work in and get better, and says he's gotten better. He's gotten better. Matter of fact, let me scratch my head real hard on that one. You've gotten better? Okay, fine. I mean, sure, Sean. Yeah, sure. You've gotten better. You've gotten better at being condescending. You've gotten better with playing that role like you're the only sensible person. But okay, gotten better. So Nikki understands why they were matched on paper, but is having a difficult time with things like communication. She says when things aren't going well, she doesn't feel heard, seen, or respected. So she doesn't feel valued in their relationship. And that's enough for someone not to feel valued. What we've seen in that short stint of time, the clips that they have put together would be reasonable enough for someone to feel like they're not valued. And so they end up doing this minor exercise where Dr. Paul had them work on how they communicate their feelings. And I loved how, though he corrected them both, he told Sean that Sean was using way too many words. Like, that's too much going on. He just gave a whole dissertation. Once he used less words, Nikki felt more connected to what he said. And Dr. Paul, I've got a question, please. Please, please. Pick me. Pick me. Please. I got a question. Can we do this same exercise with Courtney so she can start using less words? Because not only do we get word salads, we get word buffets up in this joint. And then I be all the way confused. I don't know about y'all out there, but I be so confused. And I really be sitting there questioning myself, like, am I just tired? Is something going on with my comprehension skills at this point? Let me rewind this again. And I'm still like, yeah, I'm lost. Anyways, he wants them to start rating their relationship every day. And listen, I guess y'all, since they're starting over, I'm going to start over with them, kind of, sort of, a little bit, and see where they land. So y'all can never say I didn't try to give them a little hope for real, okay? Because they are talking a little different with one another and they have had this session. So we'll see. I personally feel like to the core of who Sean is, he just can't resist. And I feel like he made that point yet again, but we'll get to that in a minute, but we'll see. Michelle and Cam, they're at a painting class. They end up getting into the finances of it all. She lets him know she wanted to be with someone who made $150,000 a year. He's like, well, I don't make that. Okay. I don't make that much money, but he's hoping with his coaching prospects and everything else, yada, 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 that eventually he'll get there. In his side confessional, however, though, he's letting us know that he would never put a number on how much his partner made. So he didn't like that. I said, oh gosh, oh no, Sean. So it was in this moment where I initially was like, see, just when I was starting to let my guard down with their relationship, right? And say, I'm not going to look for him to be picky with her. Here we go. He did clean it up. But in this moment, like I didn't know that yet. I was like, here we go. So now he's at home feeling crappy because she makes more than him. And I ain't gonna lie, when they first introduced their scene and that music shifted and the whole lighting shifted to that whole black and white, in apartment camera, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Cause we always catch something crazy or bad or something going down, people arguing, going in. You know what I mean? Like we saw Tori do her thing and then end up on the couch with that black and white camera. I'm just like, this is not good. But even with him letting her know how she felt about that and how he was feeling crappy and it can be something that could make a man feel emasculated and all that, she just lets him know he has no reason to worry and that he makes her feel safe, and they end up kissing and cuddling. I was like, okay, so this wasn't bad, or this didn't end bad like I thought it would. And I love that. Again, the maturing process that they're going through with one another. This is to me how these processes should look, right? They were a little weird at first and kind of questioning each other because they didn't know each other, and they still don't, but they're getting to know each other. At least they're going with the process of trying, of opening up, especially him, of trying to change the way he looks at things. For instance, even this whole picky thing. I like how he wasn't stuck and hung up on it. And I hope it doesn't come up again, but it seemed like he was very easy to release that and let that go once she let him listen. Once she let him know, listen, it's nothing for you to worry about at all. That's not even a thing for me. FYI, at this point, I said it, but now that I've connected with you, I am feeling you. You ain't got to worry about a thing, baby. Okay. So Belle, Jolie, and Mecca, they meet with Dr. Lisa. She's noticing how comfortable off the rip that they are together with one another. Again, I'm noticing just how they look good, like I said, together. So they bring up the more attractive person question that Mecca asked on the honeymoon, who's more attracted to who, yada yada yada. Dr. Lisa says that was a horrible question, and Mecca agrees, but says his attraction to her has grown. He even gives her forehead kisses, to which Dr. Lisa replies, her kids get forehead kisses. She was like, my kids get forehead kisses. Like, what is that about? And the tongue kisses haven't happened yet, but he says, because no one has initiated them, Belgily says she's already given him the green light. So, in other words, like, do what you waiting for. They may not have been initiated, but I already been telling you, like, it's a go. It's go time. It's show time. Like, what are you doing? Belgily also, or actually, he also says that he's had walls up from past experiences and feels that his actual anxiety is present when it comes to a new partner. So he always feels that when he has a new partner. So I was like, I wasn't expecting Mecca to say something like that. I was like, why come? Why come is that? Because with the way you be parading yourself around, we haven't seen it as much, I will admit. And as much as I thought we would see it at this point, with how fine you think that you even are, I would think that you really be confident about what you be putting down in that bedroom. So what's going on? What's the deal with that? Okay. I said, don't make me start using my imagination to come up with the reason. Uh, it just seems he's in his head way too much. But Belle Jolie says she would be open if he walked up to her and just kissed her. So Dr. Lisa was like, listen, y'all go ahead, go off, go have fun, make out tonight. So now we shoot over to Marissa and Adam. She's showing Adam her apartment. She feels Adam would be underwhelmed by her place because his place is like a big playground. But she has a really cute space. I like her space. He says he likes it too. They begin painting and they're trying to figure out what they want in terms of their living situation. And so he really likes being on the water, which we already know this to be true. And is thinking that Marissa could probably live with him for a year. And Marissa agrees with that for financial reasons. But she's like, eventually I want to have a more serious conversation about this at some point. And sidebar though, Adam, because they're over there painting portraits of one another. I said, Adam, your painting of Marissa was wicked. I said, what in the world? Who is that? That looked like some type of demon from the pits of hell. The teeth, the eyebrows. I said, what is going on here? That was a mess. It was a mess. Let's just say I don't think she needs to put that up anywhere on any of her walls. Please throw that right in the closet, preferably in the trash. But you want to keep it for sentimental value, cool. So over with Sean and Nikki, they're having dinner. She gets him a nice little bottle of whiskey. I feel like she made some comment about that. I don't know if it's something that he likes or another. I can't remember. But if that was the case, and I thought that was very thoughtful of her to do that, it shows that she is trying to put in a little bit of the work. And he wants to know how he can show up for her next time in front of the group. And I said, well, that's a great question. And I hope he really means that because, listen, it's one thing to do wrong and keep doing wrong, which I feel like Sean has been doing anyway, but I'm gonna give him a little credit in this moment. But it's one thing to do wrong and then really try to right your wrong, right? Actions show everything. So I like that he's recognizing and acknowledging that she felt like he really jacked up that situation. And so he wants to know what he can do moving forward to be better with that. And I will commend him on that. I'll give him a light little tap. Okay, Sean, I'll give you a little something, but I'm still watching you harder than I gave you that tap. So, anyways, she wants to be able to defer to him. She says, as the leader of their relationship, they amicably agree that they both have big egos. But it was her making a great point for me in terms of how they connect in a relatable way with one another, with him being a black man, her being a black woman. And when they walk into rooms, how that looks like they're often misunderstood and underestimated, and I know that world oh so well. Shout out to my people out there who know. If you know, you know. I feel like that'd be a whole different subject for a whole different day with some whole different deep thoughts and some whole lot of maybe tissue involved and glasses of wine and everything else to get for real. My goodness, and a whole lot of time required. But um she's just like, yeah, she loves that challenge though at the end of the day. Like, underestimate me. Please. Oh, I want you to do it, do it, do it. Underestimate me so I can show you what I'm really made of. And I can see that with Nikki. And I do like that about her. I love women who really just are strong and who really make a mark in what they do when they show up and have that type of confidence within themselves. But the part that I didn't like is he then chuckles it off and says, "Oh, that might be a therapy issue." Sean, Sean. Matter of fact, I'm taking my clap back. Okay. This little I'm taking that right back when I think about it. Cause it's like, see, these are the moments where he ruins the moment. Why was that necessary to say? And to be on that level, okay, maybe you don't, but I want to say, exactly what she's talking about. And that's how you're going to minimize what she just said. Again, disrespectful. And she ain't call him out on it. She went ahead about it, but I'm sure she felt that little tingle in her spirit when she said it because she kind of called like a, well, and then she went on to explain, see what I mean? Sean, he just can't help himself. But, anyways, she wants to leave all their mess at the door and they end on a positive note. He's going to relinquish his power and she's going to try to be his safe space. I'm going to try, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm going to try. But I just want to know, how long do we think this is going to last before the next conflict takes place? Before the next breakdown in communication? Is it going to be the next episode, which most of you all have probably already seen? I have not seen it yet. Is it going to be by the episode after that? Like, I just don't know. I'm at least give it. I'm going to try to remember to come back to this and y'all call me out if I miss it. If the conflict doesn't happen in the next episode, which I haven't seen yet, but y'all have, but possibly even happens by when they drop the next 3 sets. Well, what did I say before that, y'all? I done lost my train of thought. If I'm wrong, just remind me that I was wrong, that they're still flowing and vibing and doing just good. But if I'm right, y'all just remember that I said this, okay? So maybe I'm giving it this next one, which I haven't seen, and by the time they drop the next set of episodes, at least that first episode, I won't even be greedy and say by all 3 of those next episodes they drop. I'm gonna say by the first of the next set of episodes they drop on Thursday, okay? We gonna see. I hope not, and I wish them the best. I hope they can work through the mess. Only because, again, like I said, this they sat and they had this serious session, and it seemed like it worked. I really liked how Dr. Paul kind of got into them and called out what they needed to be doing a little better, even with their communication. So we'll see. Back with Adam and Marissa, he's giving her a massage. The cat is totally messing up the vibe. And remember, she's not a cat person and also allergic to cats, but they keep doing their thing anyways. Courtney and Nick, they are in the gym working out. Even with that, I think, didn't she complain something with that, y'all, too, about how she really don't like PDA in the gym and all he was trying to do was help her. I don't know. Okay. Devin attends one of Caitlin's bike exercising classes, and I told y'all before, I do not do those bikes, but that looked very cool what they were doing. They were getting it. When I tell you, getting it from the up down and the up and the down and oh, I loved it. It was pretty cool. They ended up meeting with 2 of Caitlin's friends to grab a bite to eat. The friend lets Devin know Caitlin is very much an independent person, as they are, meaning her and her just all the friends that are present. And she or one of the friends shares that she spent a month in Vegas away from her husband and was kind of like cool with it. Like, her husband said something or another, and she's like, whatever, like wasn't phased by the fact that she hadn't seen her man. And they absolutely all think it's hilarious, all but Devin. When I tell you the way he said it, like, what kind of it is this? Huh, not me, could never. She says her friends mean everything to her, and she being Caitlin, so she's like, if they don't like him, then she would have some reflecting to do. And so he excuses himself to go to the bathroom, at which point her friend starts talking about how she don't really like his hair and kind of clowning his hair, but does say he's a good looking guy. She shares Caitlin that she's still struggling to find that balance between them, as she should be, and as I figured she would be. So Michelle and Cam are lounging and chatting on the couch. She makes it known how she likes to communicate with her text because apparently he's getting ready to take a trip without her. She lets him know she's going to miss him. So just another sweet moment shared with them. Belle, Jolie, and Mecca are getting ready for bed, and she feels his attraction and feelings for her are growing. And I said, well, good. I certainly hope so. Okay. And she's waiting to jump off that cliff and feels there will be potential for her to fall in love. I said, well, fall in love with who? Fall in love with who? I mean, yeah, maybe fall in love, but with who? And maybe, right? Let me not even do that to them because maybe it really is a slow burn of a situation. We still are trying to assess this thing and see what comes of it and what really shifts for the better. There's progress being made, even if it's a little, right? At least he's showing her some type of attention and more affection. And so she asked how many kids that he wants. He says two, and that he was trying to make one of them tonight. She wants four. He starts kissing her hand. And he's like, do you like when I kiss your hand? She's like, oh, I love when you kiss my hand. I love when you kiss my hand, my forehead. I love when you kiss whatever. She said, and I even love the forehead kisses. She was like, so don't even trip. In other words, based on what Dr. Lisa said when Dr. Lisa was kind of trying to clown the situation, like, I kiss my kids on the forehead. She was like, I love being kissed on the forehead, so keep them coming. And he said he don't kiss his friends on the forehead. So like I said, that's progress. We'll see. Don't know how believable it is, but we'll see. Also lets her know he no longer has his robe on. And that's why I asked, what was going on in between them sheets then? Did you not have your robe on because it was time to get down with the get down? Or did you not have your robe on because you just wanted to sleep comfortably? Or maybe because you was too hot and you wanted to be on chill? Like, what really went down? Are you going to tell us or is y'all not? Okay. We want to know. So I said, interesting. It's now week 4, 4 weeks to decision day. Nick and Courtney are on their way to visit Courtney's family. And the parents seemed okay at the wedding, but we also didn't get to see much of them either. So who really knows? But now Nick is feeling a potential deal breaker as they're driving in the car and talking. Is Courtney wanting to live in Oregon since her parents are there and she wants to be with them, whereas he does not want to live in Oregon? He said the weather's bad, ain't his thing. And I'm thinking, Nick, you already had some deal breakers before this Oregon conversation. Pay attention. Pay attention, sir. Okay. And I thought it odd how when they finally got to her house and walked up to her parents' door, they were holding hands, but then she wanted to unlock hands because she said her family would make fun of her for doing that. Again, another reason that might explain a little more of her personality and why she's the way that she is. So as they get in the back, they're talking, mingling, and she wants her sister to grill him to help figure out pretty much what the deal is between them. I'm like, so yet again, instead of you doing any work, you want somebody else to do it. The problem. They have a little small talk, then they sit down for dinner. And I said, sidebar, y'all, her mom's look reminds me. Have y'all ever seen the show? I think it was called Long Island Medium. And if it wasn't called Long Island Medium, I know the lady was a Long Island Medium. I want to say it used to come on TLC. It hasn't been on for a long time. Was it TLC or Lifetime? I think it was TLC, where she pretty much would help people connect with their loved ones that have passed on. And it's so crazy because it's like that's actually where I was born and raised in Long Island, New York. Even though I've never seen her in passing, I mean, Long Island is a super stretch of island, and there, I mean, you could pass, you definitely could not. But I just thought she was super cool. Like I used to always love that show, and she had the long nails and the, like I said, the big hair. I don't remember what her name was. I just remember her as a Long Island Medium, and I really enjoyed that show when it was on. I caught a couple of episodes. Like I never used to watch heavy, but I used to watch. So hopefully y'all know who I'm talking about. I just feel like a name just came to mind, but I'm really bad about calling out people's names and then it be totally off. And y'all are not about to make fun of me and get on me. All right. But, anyways, maybe y'all know what I'm talking about. But she kind of, her mom reminded me of that lady in the moment. That's what I thought of. But, anyways, Nick gets up and he goes to the bathroom and she instantly wants to know, soon as he's out of the clear, what they think of him. Because she already made it known to her sister when they first got there that if they didn't like him, then she wasn't going to like him. And I'm like, only thing, Courtney, is that you don't need your family to do that, okay? Because you already don't like him and you certainly act like it. But they all like him. And even in her confessional, I felt like she was still trying to find reasons to validate why she still shouldn't like him. Because she's saying, like, oh, well, they're not around him 24/7 to see how he really is. And they're not asking the hard questions, etc. And that's true. So then why even hold serious weight to what they would think at this point in time if they haven't been around him long enough to know? She asked if she's nitpicking. Yes, you are. You are nitpicking. You are disrespectful. You are hard to watch and everything else. You got any more questions? I'll answer them for you. You are insufferable to me at this point. Like when I just see your face, it's just like no, because you have not been pleasant, and not in my opinion, not when it comes to Nick. And so her sister even says, which I find to be interesting, I know you want me to say something bad. I know you want me to say something bad. And let me slow that down just in case y'all missed that. I know you want me to say something bad, which means that she knows how her sister operates. She wants her sister to be team her, even if it's team wrong. She was like, but I don't have anything to say. I said, oh, well, okay, Courtney. Well, there it goes then. Well, there it goes then. How disappointing, right? How disappointing. You have to face the reality that your family's even impliedly letting you know it's probably you. Not even it's you. It's you. Straight up, her sister was dead serious. Like, uh, yeah, yeah, like you good. I don't have anything to say. I know that upsets you, and you're probably gonna be mad at me. Then she didn't say all this, but this is what I'm saying. Like, because it's just like Courtney's looking like, oh, really? So now that means you have to do some more self-reflecting and self-assessing on your own, which I know you're not going to do. You're still just going to continue to find reasons why you're right, he's wrong, why there's nothing wrong with you, but everything wrong with him. And I'm just not here for the mess, y'all. So anyway, the music is on, the dance floor is lit. Don't be no prude and hold up the wall. Hop on the floor and let me know what you think about this whole Courtney bid. Do y'all think that she really just is struggling with how she feels about Nick for real, like she says, and that she really does like him, but doesn't really know how to really navigate that situation? Or is she just full of crap? I'm sorry, I'm going with the full of crap. I'm sorry, she just is. I just think she's a rude person. I don't think she should be on this show. I don't, and I think that's the thing. Maybe she came in with the intent that right off the rip, it was just going to be a match made in heaven and all of that. But I don't know why these people do that when you have to remember you don't know what you're getting. But what you do know is that you're making a commitment from the jump before you even meet these people at the altar to put the work in to try to make it work if it's something that you're able to make work. And Courtney's situation is something that she's able to make work. It's not like Nick is a nightmare on Elm Street. It's not like Nick has been Sean. All right, so it's like, what is the problem? Like, you are just so, like, just that wall is just solid. That wall is solid. I don't see any much anywhere. So even when he's like, she's warm, I'm like, how? And Nick, do you know what warm even looks like? Especially when you got the nerve to sit up here and talking about how you want a challenge and you want your feathers ruffled. I don't know if I should go for what you say on anything. Anyways, y'all let me know. What's the deal with Sean and Nikki? Do y'all think that they're gonna be all right after this talk, or you gonna think they're gonna be back to their old shenanigans? You let me know too if you with me on my bet. By the drop of the next episode on Thursday, they're gonna be back to the mess. What do y'all think about Caitlin's? Excuse me, of Caitlyn, yeah. What y'all think of Caitlin's friends? That one friend was off the chain. I was like, okay, girl. I don't know. Yeah. Let me not go too far, but her friends are a little interesting. I definitely can see them and their similarities. I really do. And I don't know if this is going to be, how is this going to be a helpful thing for her when she's surrounded by like-minded people? Like, how are they going to help break that barrier for her? To me, if anything, they're just going to continue to encourage her and fuel the fact that she's just not somebody who's willing to give up her space. And I know they kind of creeped in there a little bit to make it seem all sweet and fluffy, kind of sort of like maybe she could in a very minor way if you didn't catch it, but I doubt it. Anyways, y'all let me know. I hope this video found you in good spirits. And if it didn't, I hope I did or said a little something to put a smile on your face. I am sending you all social hugs, y'all, in this crazy world where I'm sure we probably could all use it. Nevertheless, I hope y'all have had an awesome and a great day. I hope y'all will have a phenomenal week. I already know that I ain't going to be able to make it to episode 9 tonight. but I'm definitely going to get to it before the next sets drop. I don't even want to give a day because, yeah, I know my Mondays are usually the pits, but I'll try to if I can tomorrow. But hopefully by Thursday, we'll see for sure. But y'all will still see me nonetheless, okay? I'm going to be late to my party, but y'all going to see me. I'm already late, right? Anyways, y'all, until we meet again, y'all know what to do. Y'all stay up, y'all stay blessed, and I'm out. Peace.